Oh my god, I've been dreading this day, and here we are. To some of you, this must be so easy, but when I tell you this has been the hardest build that I've had to do thus far, it really has been. Hello my lovely Morbid thoughts, welcome back to my channel. It's Morbid Gamer here with another speed build video. I have not done one of these in a very long time, so I feel like it's overdue on this channel. And as some of you may know or may not know, I've been working on a save file for myself and I, but I will be releasing it once it's done to the public. So if you guys care to know anything about it, I have a link down below about my progress on that save file. And so this build pertains to that. And this, we are building the Notre Dame that is in Paris, that cathedral church that is in Paris, that is in France, and it's pretty well known in case you don't know it. I mean, you can look into it, but that's basically what it is. And I feel like most of you guys should know it just because it's pretty infamous, one, but two, I mean, there is a Disney movie on it. However, I know it's not one of its like more successful. I don't think it is. Like, how many of you guys have actually seen the Notre Dame movie? I feel like there's a lot, but I still feel like it's underrated compared to the rest of the other movies that Disney has like in its arsenal. You know, there's a lot of Disney movies. So we're building Notre Dame in Windenburg, in that Villarreal lot that is there. I think there's a family there that is the family name, and that's where we're building this, because it's a 64 by 64, and I honestly don't even remember what used to be there. Like, I don't know the house or what it was that it looked like. Honestly, knowing EA, I don't think it was anything that like, oh my god, I'm gonna be blown away by this. But that's what used to be here. And I was like, this whole world is slowly but surely been renovated and been turning into Paris, France, because in my save file, that's what I want to be here. I think it's supposed to be some kind of German English. I'm not sure what really inspired this world and what the architecture is like here. I just know it tends to lean very Tudor style, and I'm not about that life. That's not me. So I'm like, we gotta turn this into Paris, France. But I've said that multiple times. Again, if you guys want any more information, I'll leave a link to that Google Docs down below, and you guys can keep up, because I have percentages, how many lots are still left, how many I've done thus far. So there's kind of like keeping tabs on the progress on this. But a little bit more on this build. It was super duper hard, and that is kind of like the whole point of this video, is that it's been my hardest build thus far. And there were challenges mostly, I think, in the beginning, just trying to get this build right, because once you kind of get it going, then it starts to like, you start to cruise. Yes, you still meet like problems along the way, but I feel like once you got it kind of down, then it's like you're just on cruise control a little bit with some slight speed bumps along the way. But this was really hard at the beginning because it couldn't really get the dimensions of it right, and I didn't record it. But trust me when I say, my first attempt, I might have still like maybe an image, and I'll put it up just in case I still have it. But if not, believe me, it was not looking like this at all. So it took me a couple like times to try and get it correct and right. But the first time, I remember it just looked really chunky and really short. And I think this was the Notre Dame is really like, I feel like more slender and tall, especially with the towers. The mine was just looking really bulky and short. So I had to really increase that height. And the one way that I figured out how to do this was by using those wall heights. Those, no, what are they called? They're not actually walls, but they're half walls. There you go, they came to me. By using those half walls, I was able to then make believe that there was kind of like this fifth floor, because in the Sims 4, I don't know why they capped at 4 levels. I'm actually not sure why, because I think in Sims 3, you're able to go to like 5, and in Sims 2, you're able to go to like 5 as well. So why did the Sims 4 cap it at 4? No idea. Don't ask me. But I would still love to know the reason. But using those half walls, I was like, we can make sort of believe that there is that 5th floor, and so that kind of helped put some like height to these towers, because the front of it was, I think, the process that was the hardest to accomplish, just because I feel like it's the most detailed. Once you get the back portion is like still really detailed, but I mean, not as detailed, obviously, but that's why it tends to be like that. Doing the butt part wasn't as hard, and I do finish some of this on stream, because I do stream, you guys. Just in case you did not know, you can check me out. There's also a link always in the description to my Twitch channel, just in case. I stream 3 days out of the week, so you can always find me on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, because I'm changing my schedule now. So yeah, those 3 days out of the week, you can always find me on Twitch streaming either builds or mostly gameplay, but builds, because we gotta get this ball rolling for this save file, man. It's gotta happen. So one other thing, I want to shout out these paintings, because without these paintings, I have no idea how I was gonna be even close to making those circular, oh, what's it called, window pattern things. It's just the only thing that came close that I tried were the new game pack. Was it Realm of Magic game pack? They come with those circular windows, and then some of them have patterns on it, and I tried it, but it just did not work out. It did not have that same effect, the same look. It was just not gonna happen, and it wasn't cutting it. And I was like, I really like, I'm known for you, okay, not known. I don't think anyone knows me for this, but I do use paintings a lot in my builds. In my Moulin Rouge build, I did use gallery paintings that people take as like maybe custom content, and then they have their Sims recreate that as a painting and then put it up on the gallery so you can use. And it's not even CC, you can actually just download them and they register in your game just fine, unless you're not connected to the gallery and you don't have internet for some reason, then you can't see the painting. So that, you know, give and take. But they're not considered custom content, and I really love it because it adds more things that you can use, obviously more art, more furniture, yada yada. I really like it. I really like using that little cheat, and so shout out to whoever made this in the gallery. I had to use it and I had to have it. I was just like, yes please, thank you. So this is probably my third biggest build when it comes to this world, because I think the Eiffel Tower was more precise, I guess, because it was just a lot of lights that you had to add on to this structure, but it was pretty easy. It was just kind of like repetitive, a lot of the same things, a lot of adding these little lights. If you haven't checked out that video where I make the Eiffel Tower, you can check it out. I'll hopefully leave it linked as a reminder to myself, please link it. And then I did not Notre Dame. We're doing Notre Dame. The Louvre. I've done that one. That one took me a long time as well, but I think the only reason it took me a long time is just because I was doing it in segments and in parts while I was working on other things. So I was like just being swept away by other projects and then coming back to it. But it wasn't honestly that hard. It was just, you know, it just took a while just because of, it was all my fault. This, however, I was just like, I don't know why. It was just so daunting to me to create this freaking build. And I don't know, now that I've gotten out of the way, I'm actually like proud of myself. One, yes, but two, I was like, I don't know what all the fuss was about. It actually, I don't know, I finished this on stream with the help of others, so I guess that's one thing, is that I actually had you guys to help me out while building this cathedral. I think that was, and it was fun. I enjoyed it. It's one of the more like, it's really like soothing. I think it's almost like therapeutic to build in The Sims sometimes, and then when it comes to big projects, when you take the anxiety out of it, especially because with big projects give me anxiety, and I'm just like, oh my god, and I get into my head and I'm just like, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. But having other people help me, and then just taking a deep breath and taking a step back and just taking it bit by bit, honestly really helps. So if there's one thing that I can take away from this, and like for you guys who are in like my shoes, who feel like you're not really like building experts or noobs or just starting out, take it piece by piece, and then just don't stress yourself out like I did. Because this build for some reason got into my head, and it's because it's daunting when you see actual beautiful images of the Notre Dame. It's like, how am I gonna recreate this in The Sims? Like, how? And I feel like just taking it bit by bit and piece by piece, obviously that helps a lot. And I really do try and stray away from that, like doing it that way, doing piece by piece, because sometimes you'll start to see that this way is not working out, and then you have to tear down the whole thing. So yeah, it's like give and take, but working in bit by bit can sometimes cause problems, because then you start to see, oh yeah, this is not gonna fit, or oh no, this is not exactly the way that it's supposed to be structured. So things you learn as you start to build more and more, which, by the way, I feel like I guess I have gotten better, and some of you guys are coming after me being like, girl, you are a builder, which I feel like I don't deserve that title just yet, just because I can't create anything off of the top of my head. I can only like replicate what I see and then put that in the game, especially when it comes to house plans. Those are like my favorite to build, just because I can definitely recreate what it is that I see in floor plans and put that in The Sims. Like, I've gotten really good at that, but when it comes to building myself, I'm not like, I can't think of like be creative and just think of something and then do it, or just like have my just creativeness just take over and just do it, you know? Because whenever I'm in creative sim is like my favorite thing to be in a lot of the times, because custom content and making sims, and like sometimes I'm just messing around in creative sim. It's just, I think it's more friendly and really easy, and it's just like sometimes I just get lost and get creative with a sim and make somebody I've never made before, and that's super easy to me. And it comes with styling as well. Styling just comes like so natural to me. But when it comes to building, that definitely starts to become more like structural, and I really gotta think about it, and but I still really like it. So that's the thing. I'm like, I feel like I really want to master all of these parts of The Sims when it comes to building, gameplay, which I really love gameplay, and then creative sim, because I really love creative sim. So I just want to become a master of all three elements. Okay, Avatar, someone's been watching a little bit too much Avatar. Yes, I have, and I'm not ashamed of it, because if you didn't know, both series are on Netflix right now, and like I'm re-watching them all over again and falling in love with both series all over again. But yeah, just a little tidbit. Any Avatar fans in here? Probably, most likely, because if you're not, I'm judging you. And it most likely is. But another thing about this build, before I stray away and start talking about things that don't even relate to this build, is that this has a lot of pieces to it. So if your computer is on the lower end, I don't know how well you're going to be with this build, because it could probably is gonna be a little bit laggy. Gonna start to be a little bit laggy on your computer, because I was noticing as I was trying to move the build sometimes to like really make it so that it's down the middle of the lot. I really like when it's symmetrical and it fits perfectly down the middle of the lot. So as I was trying to do that, I noticed that my computer was stuttering while I was trying to move it. Not while actually in a build by, but when I was trying to move it, it was like it's starting to glitch out. So I was like, oh, there's a lot of pieces or a lot of things that go into this, obviously, with all the columns and the doors and the windows, and it's just a lot. So I don't know how this is gonna do, but I really kept in mind like lower end computers. I tried, because this is a 64 by 64 lot, and those are really big, and those builds tend to be really big. So of course it was just gonna be like, it's gonna end up being a lot regardless. So I kept that in mind either way. And that's why there's not, I don't feel like I limited myself to details, a lot of details, because I've seen other builds when it comes to Notre Dame, and they are so good, so beautiful, but there's a lot of detail to them, like a lot of objects. And my beast of a computer, she's lovely, and she can handle, I think, almost any kind of build. I say almost any kind, but she and she's able to really handle those well. But I really wanted to build something that was a little bit more on the simple side. And then I really started to notice in lights that this was getting a little bit harder for the computer to process, just because usually when I put down a light, it instantly lights up like a room for me. And then when I put down lights, it would take it like, it would take maybe like a minute or a couple seconds to really load up the lighting. So maybe you'll notice a little bit while I'm putting down the lights, like it should be instant, but it's not instant. It actually takes like a couple seconds for it to load up the lighting. So that's when I knew it was starting to get a little bit, the computer was starting to lag a bit. And then now we're working on the inside. So we finished the exterior. The exterior came in bits, by the way, so you'll notice a lot of like moving and jumping pieces. I did finish a lot of this on stream, so I think for 1 minute we're working on the front of the cathedral, and then the next moment there's probably like a whole, like a ton of work done that you guys didn't see. And I think that's pretty okay, just because these tend to be very long, and I don't want this to be super long for you guys. I just want this to be like, hey, this is kind of like what I did, my mind going through all this. So we want to keep this short. But we're working on the inside now, and I took a look. I've never actually like researched the inside of the Notre Dame, but it's actually really gorgeous. Oh my god, I'm like so jealous. Anybody who's ever been to the Notre Dame or Paris or France, because I'm like infatuated with it. That's why I'm trying to bring this world to Sims 4. Not only that, it was in Sims 3 we had like China, Egypt, and then France. And then I'm like, oh my god, we had all those worlds in the Sims 3, but I think in the Sims 4 they're definitely straying away from that, and we're not gonna get anything like that. That's why I kind of wanted to bring, I'm like, if I can't have that in my Sims 4, then
no, if I can't get that from my Sims 4, then I'm bringing it to my Sims 4.
That's what I was trying to say. Yep. So I'm like, I want to bring that to my game. So I think I'm straying off topic, because what does that have to do with the inside? And then looking inside, oh yeah, I'm like so obsessed with Paris and infatuated. And then like I'd never seen pictures of the inside of this cathedral, like of the Notre Dame. I'm just like, it's so gorgeous, and it's humongous and huge and big. And yeah, it had its like recent like fire on the inside, and it sucks. It is still just a building. I mean, it holds a lot of history. I feel like I'm gonna probably anger some people, but in the end, it is still just a building. Unlike the Amazon, which is something that we really need, and like where we're billionaires there. Anyways, but I'm like, one day I hope to visit the Notre Dame, but obviously it's not gonna be the same on the inside. If you guys look at pictures, it's so like detailed and gorgeous, but my inside was very minimal. I guess you could say it was very minimal. I think the only thing that was sort of accurate is the floors. They have these nice checkered floors that I didn't even think that would be inside of the Notre Dame, but they are. So there's that. But there's also a reference to like religion in here with the cross. They had a big cross at the end of their like it's a church, obviously it's gonna be religious. So I was like, I kind of went back and forth with like including that or not including that, and I end up including it. You guys can take it off if you'd like to, because not everyone's religious. I'm not religious at all, but I was just like, I feel like I should just add that in there for, I don't know, for the cathedral's sake. I was just like, let me just put this in here. So I did that with the lights. It's also a wedding, but this is actually just a wedding venue. I have it in the gallery as a museum, just because it has that museum vibe, because it's old and decrepit, and like, but I'm pretty sure the Notre Dame to this day is still functioning, right? Like I'm pretty sure they still have like things going on in it. Like they actually have services and stuff. But you can get married here. I wanted this to really be like a wedding venue. I didn't want this to be anything else. Like what else could you really do on this location besides get married? Like I think it's perfect. So I didn't create like this long what's it called when walkway down, and then the wedding arch. I think it's cute. And then there's like a backspace for you to get married, like a part, like for you to hold like a get together, a party, if you will, a little shindig. So there's that. And then I did provide some alcohol, not gonna lie. I don't know if that's a little like controversial, I guess you could say. I don't know, but I did put a bar back there. I was like, F it, we're gonna have it. If I had to put the cross there, then I'm gonna have a bar back there as well, you know. So I put a bar, and there's a dance floor, and there's some tables. Oh, the one thing that I forgot to put, now that I'm reminding myself, is somewhere to eat, because there's nothing to eat unless you guys bring a wedding cake. But I'll put down like a buffet just to make a mental note to myself, because there's nothing is for your Sims to eat at all, unless you want like bar food. Then there's that. But yeah, I'm like this. I feel like this will work out as a wedding venue. Hopefully, it's not super glitchy and laggy for some of you guys. But yeah, I think we're reaching towards the end of this video, because I just have to furnish this and we're putting down the presents. But yeah, that's all that I really have to say for the speed build. Let me know what you guys think about it. It was definitely my toughest, biggest build thus far, and it's just one step closer towards being done, at least with this world, and like one step closer towards being done with this whole save file because it really is taking me a long time. But anyways, stay tuned for the pictures also. Bye.